Welcome all. As usual, lots of things are going on here at DIKU, and we'll only hide a few of them from you. We're working very hard with multiple reforms, both an internal administration reform here at the University of Copenhagen and the 21st university reform in Denmark in 20 years. So we are revising graduate educations and so on, but we'll spare you those details. That's not why you're here. Just know that as taxpayers, we are actually working. We're not just bragging about results. So as usual, I'm going to show a few select numbers about how things are going at DIKU and how we are contributing not just to society, but also what we're doing. And I'll be showing some news items about what's been going on in general at DIKU since the last meeting of the Alumni Association. So let's start with a few numbers. Ja, jeg kan tage klikkeren, men det vil jeg jo ikke. So we are currently contributing to a multitude of educational programs, all to do with computer science in general. And one piece of good news for the country is that in the student intake at the IT programs in general at the University of Copenhagen, we've had a substantial increase since last year. We are not involved in all of them, but we are actually involved in most of them. So on the left, the three leftmost educational programs, namely computer science, or computer science classic, as we sometimes call it, computer science and economics, and machine learning and data science, we've had about a 20% increase. Those three are the main bachelor's programs that we currently run here at DIKU and that are anchored at the department, the ones we are fully responsible for. In the other programs that we are part of, well, we've listed a few up here, namely communication and IT with the Faculty of Humanities. We have steady state. This is by design. The same thing almost with health and informatics that we do with the Faculty of Health. The aberration of one student is due to technical details. And two of our newest educations, namely the educations in cognition and data science with the Department of Psychology and bioinformatics, we've had steady state and an increase of students. We are not cannibalizing existing educations. We are actually taking in people who would otherwise not study IT at the University of Copenhagen. So things are looking better. Also, just pulling another random number out of the hat. For those of you who like numbers, DIKU receives both basic funding and project funding. Basic funding is what the taxpayer pays to the university, which is then funneled to the Faculty of Science and then funneled to the department. Basic funding for DIKU is about 100 million kroner per year. This is dependent on how much we teach and other things. And then there's project funding. Project funding is not something that is just given to us because we perform well. It is money we apply for, typically via public and private foundations, to fund the excellent research that we do. And we've seen a steady increase over the years. We've been trying to strategically expand this, especially to recruit excellent young scientists, PhD students, postdocs, and so on. We've had a 26% increase in turnover for external projects, rising to around 90 million last year. We are on track to hit 105 million in 2024. At least that's what the numbers look like. Every time I talk about growth, I need to emphasize that we do not grow for growth's sake. We are not a private company. We really aren't. When we grow, it's because there's a purpose to it. There is either excellent research, and by that I of course mean internationally excellent research, or it is to educate young minds here in Copenhagen. Now, I promised a few highlights since the last Alumni Day. This is going to be a mix and match of both sort of local news and international news. A very, very local piece of news is that the Faculty of Science has the so-called Business Prize or Business Award given to students, that's one prize, to junior researchers, another prize, and to senior researchers, a third prize, given out among all of the 12 departments at Science for collaboration with business. And DICU did a clean sweep, or grand slam. I should have been a copywriter here. Last time with students Christian Mølholdt Jensen and Axel Højmark winning the student prize, Martin Lilholm winning the business prize for senior researchers, and Omri Ross winning the business prize for young researchers. So that was fantastic news. We're really happy about that. Another piece of slightly less local news is that for the second year running, students from DICU won the Danish National Championship in AI. I know that most of our older alumni are alumni of what we call computer science classic these days. And sometimes there's a great debate about what is AI and what's the difference between machine learning, to which I say, that's really not important here, they won the goddamn award. So this is a national award. You can see our students being really happy here, and we hope also to win the championship in the future. We've also had people either getting promoted or joining us. One new thing about the University of Copenhagen is that we finally, after, how much is it, Fritz, 700 years-ish? Yeah, 1,000 years. Have an actual promotion program at the University of Copenhagen. One where you, as an associate professor, can apply to a very hard to get into prestigious program and then eventually be promoted to a full professor if you do well. There are only 10 spots in that program every year at the Faculty of Science. You got 3 of them with our fantastic associate professors Bulat Ibrahimov, Melanie Gens-Benjaminsen, and Dimitri Treitel. We also had 3 new full professors joining DICU, and I think on a technicality, at least one of them actually signed the contract before last year's alumni meeting, but we didn't count him at the time. You'll get to hear from 2 of them today, namely Panos or Panagiotis Karas and Philippe Bonnet, returning to the University of Copenhagen after a long sojourn to other universities, and of course Amir Yehudayov. You'll hear much more about Panos' and Philippe's research, but Amir, who's not here today, I can tell you he's an internationally renowned expert on complexity theory and hence working in the section for algorithms and complexity. Another couple of great successes is that our professor and deputy head of department for research, Pernille Bjørn, was awarded or was named as a distinguished member of the ACM, and that Denmark's youngest female professor, namely Isabel Augenstein, was also elected to be a full member of the Royal Academy of Sciences and Letters, or Videnskabernes Selskab. So again, these are not really local news, but they are fantastic non-local news about our great staff. Among our younger staff, namely PhD students, we've also had some fantastic achievements. Karolina Stanchak just won, I think as in literally just won a few days ago, the Faculty of Science PhD Award for 2024. Jakob Tetek, who got his PhD from here just recently, received the Best Paper Award, not just the student or Best Student Paper Award, the actual Best Paper Award at the Fox conference. For those of you not in the know, Fox is one of the 2 most prestigious pure algorithms conferences in the world, so we're really proud of that. Yep. Oh, I've already shipped him out in my mind. Well, Jakob, everyone is called Jakob here, right? So this is Jakob Holm. Jakob, do we expect him to pass? Absolutely. Yeah, I kind of thought so. We did not rehearse this, I promise. Now, further stories from the land of PhDs and postdocs is that our great young minds are also getting funding for their research, not just from national foundations, but also from international ones. I won't go into detail here. I'll just mention that in addition to some of the European funding we got from the Horizon program that the European Union has, and from the Danish Data Science Academy, it turns out that the Novo Nordisk Foundation is actually still giving money to Denmark, which we're also really happy about. And we would very much like the money generated by Novo Nordisk to stay in Denmark and create excellent research here. How am I for time? I have 2 minutes. That's good. I'm not too late, because we have some real entertainment going. You don't have to listen to me much more. The real entertainment today, well, we have a real amazing lineup of speakers and our great faculty here, representing a broad scope of cutting-edge research going on here at DIKU. We've also invited 2 external speakers to collaborate, to showcase that DIKU collaborates with the world outside, both in innovation and research.